Hello and welcome to another video. So today we're going to be looking at D-Shift or Don't. Pretty straightforward D-Shift deck overall. A few different cards, some other D-Shifts around, but not too different. You know, you got your couple of Loos, couple of Mages, couple of Piercings. Mainly taking two of most cards there, just to make room for other little things that I quite like. And it performs quite well, so we'll get right into the games. Alrighty, so game 1 here is against Blood. This game's pretty cool because we don't even need D-Shift. This is why I named it D-Shift or Don't. So we start out with an okay hand. I mean, the draw power is nice and the time worn piercing combos are quite good, so there's nothing wrong with holding on to those. Unfortunately, we don't draw anything that can get any advantage off of anything, so that kind of sucks. It would have been nice if we had have got one of our spell boosts. Although we're not in too bad a spot overall.
Unbelievable.
So we do get to clear that pretty easily and draw a card. And we draw into another magic, so that's okay. I mean, we pretty much can win this game just because of what they play, which you'll see in a minute, no doubt. They drop Soul Dealer, which literally halves their health, dropping them to 9, putting them within a quite awkward range for time-worn mages and piercing runes. So we're able to go into time 1 and trade out.
The contract's broken.
So we drop them to 6. We have another time-worn piercing rune combo. So that's another 5 damage, and then we only need 1, which we can ping off the magic missile. So I pretty much had lethal well in advance here, which is kind of what I was aiming for. Not dragging this game out at all. It was a pity I didn't have like an angelic or something like that, but not too bad. So we put him to 1, set up magic missile lethal. Blood doesn't tend to heal, so I wasn't too worried about that. They go for another demon commander, which isn't a big threat. A little bit more damage. If we hadn't have had lethal, it would have been a bit more tricky, but since we did have lethal, that's not too bad. And that pretty quickly closed out the first game. Like, it was a really rushed in game. Alright, so we'll go into game 2 here in a moment. Alrighty. So for game 2, we have Shadow.
I guess you're looking for a fight. Mother, father, come on. So we start off with a freshman Lewin D-Shift. D-Shift is always not a bad thing to keep, especially if you have something early to drop like freshman. So it's not too bad overall. We also have the sorcery, which I like quite a lot. And we happen to draw into Insight, which is an ideal turn 1 play with a couple of boosts. This is more of the game where we're actually able to pull off a D-Shift, so this is actually a little more entertaining for the D-Shift overall. So we go with the freshman Lou for the draw, and so we're not wasting the magic missile on something else. Plus we get the spell boost from the Lou, so then we can combo it with the magic missile when we want to. Fortunately, we don't really get much here, so we just go with the sorcery. Gives us a draw as well, so it doesn't really lose anything compared to magic, and it just boosts D-Shift to a reasonable amount. So they do play Desolator, making things a little more difficult. Trying to play around this was a little complicated. I had to try and come up with ways to deal with it. Luckily, I do draw into Melon, which does put my hand at 9 due to Melon's abilities, which is a little bit of a pain, but by that point I have 2 D-Shifts, a Flame Destroyer, and pretty much everything else in hand that I could ever want, so anything I burn really isn't a big deal. Because I've got basically, what, 2 clears, some return power, some more draw power, 2 D-Shifts, and a Flame Destroyer. And nearly 3 clicks, so we've got a pretty good board, honestly. So now I have to deal with double ledger. Double ledger is a little bit of a pain. It's not impossible to do it, it's just more difficult when you've got to deal with ledger after ledger, summoning 2/4/4s. So fortunately the Wind Blast deals 4, so that was pretty easy. And then I decided to go with a Magic Missile Evolve combo to deal with the other one, just because I didn't really have much left. So we've got the extra 1 damage ping, so we can may as well get the boost. And ignoring the 3/3 is usually not a big problem. So they do keep developing board, ending up with 3 extra things this turn. Fortunately though, plenty of removal. Being able to use the Time Worn for double removal is pretty good.
It's just like back in the old days.
So I end up just returning the Unica, because I thought that was a good idea. Get the draw, return the Unica. Wind Blasting the 4/4, and just ramming into the Grimnir, keeping Crimson Sorcery in my hand, meaning I basically get a 1-drop free spell.
I'm all tuckered out.
From here, we can start looking at our D-Shift combo, because turn 7's a pretty nice time to start thinking about that. Fortunately, I draw into another Glow, allowing me to return one of these zombies. And I just basically go from there using Crimson Sorcery and Fiery to start clearing up the board a little bit. And then, fortunately, that ends up allowing me to go for a few 0-drops with the Fate's Hands, opening up my D-Shift play, which I didn't have access to previously. So I allowed to play that just because I want to get as much value out of this turn as I can. So I drop my Flame and my D-Shift, allowing me to go into next turn. So I have double D-Shift for 14 damage, so I'm only short 2. Which fortunately with Angelic and Freshman Lou, I have plenty of damage to use this D-Shift here. Which is awesome. And that deals exactly 8 damage just off that, and the Blade Mage is just the icing on the cake. Closing out the D-Shift.
You're too strong.
So that's D-Shift or don't. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. You can find the deck list in the description below, along with any other information you could need. And I'll catch you guys next time. See ya.